afternoon, depending on where you're tuning in from. Just getting the recording started and going. Mhm.
Hey, Nico.
Hey,
This is
everyone.
Jim. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, thanks. Hey, just a quick question before you get going. The trade chat you sent out yesterday about claiming rewards and so forth. Can you address that? It was kind of confusing. All everything that was Bill was chiming in, and I guess there's a bunch of people that aren't associated with the account somehow. And
Say that one more time. What was the first part of what you said?
the in trade chat yesterday when you sent out about everybody claiming rewards and so forth, go into your promotions and check to see what's going on.
All right. You're a little muffled, so I apologize. I think you're talking about the post that I posted about the VIP rewards.
Correct. Yes.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I don't know if you have something in front of your microphone or if it's far away, but it sounded like it was hard to hear you, but I think I understood what you said. Everybody, can you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
Just make sure it's not on my end. Okay.
Yes, you're good.
All right. We are live, I think. Yes. We are live. All right. Yeah, a lot of interesting stuff to go over here today, guys. That's that. Let's go over also.
Can you hear me any better?
I can hear you. Yes.
All right. I got a crappy setup here, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. It just sounds a little muffled, like you're in a tin can or something.
No, I was just talking about the trade chat you sent out yesterday about
Okay. Yeah.
claiming the rewards.
Yeah, I can definitely hear you much better now too. So yes. Yeah, I'll go over that. All right, cool. There's that.
I get in there and it shows zero rewards, and I was just wondering if that what I need to do.
Yeah, you got to be qualified. I believe you have to be a certain VIP level. Let me just see. I don't know if anybody else already knows the answer to that, but I would have to, but I'm pretty sure from what I understand, you do have to be. Second, I'll share my screen on that. Yeah, you got to be qualified on the BTC. All right, so I just clicked on that link. Earn BTC passive income, VIP exclusive, qualified. Does yours, when you go to that link, does it say qualified here? If
No,
not, boost
it
your
says unqualified.
unqualified. Yeah, so I think you got to come down here to view your VIP program, and there are. I think it may have to do with the tier that you're on or um, the amount of trades that you've done, like, or, round trip trades. That I'm not 100% sure. It is for a certain VIP level, but if you click here, it should take you to all the different VIP levels here. And it says on future spot, etc., across the spot, blah, 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 how many, what your users who are level 1 to 5 VIP or star can earn extra high yield passive income of 6.82% API. And that, I think, is what they shared. So you got to get to at least VIP level 1.
There was something on there too about when we signed up with you, we should have gotten something from you. Does that automatically come, or do we have to be a certain level to claim that also?
Let's see. quick heads up, all Phemex VIPs at Crypto Renegade. So that doesn't mean all members. It just means all VIPs, which means you have to qualify. Sharing revenue for inverse BTC perpetual futures contracts, currently offering about a 10.64% APY. All you need to do is keep some BTC in your futures account. No lockup required. You can keep trading or just let it be. But you do have to qualify to that next level. So what you would do is you would go to that section. You can just click that link and then click on all VIP programs or what is BTC Vault.
Yeah.
And then check if I'm qualified or, go to what the qualifications are. Let me just do it right here and see what it says.
So if you go to promotions on that screen, it's got a spot on there where it says Nico Merck welcome rewards.
Yeah, I don't see it when I log in because I am the person, but
Okay.
so I don't see it. So you guys would have to tell me what it says there, but
Nico, I think he's talking about the message that Bill sent out last night about being tied to your UUID. I think that's the one he's actually talking about, not the message about the earning the interest.
oh, I think the link that I shared was for our members. So if you're not,
Yeah, no, the two of them were basically the same kind of message. People are saying they don't see it, and that's because the UID wasn't tied to you guys.
okay. There are a handful of those people, and let me just pull this list up. She sent me this. I'm going to just share with you guys. Let's see.
Anyway, I'll stay off and let you get rolling with the trading.
No, it's okay. It does affect everybody. And hey, guys, it's extra money. It's free money for having money in just for having Bitcoin in your wallet. All right, so let me just put this over here, reshare my screen again. Just an update that some users from your community have emailed me already and they have been approved just now. We'll update tomorrow on the sheet who has been bound to you already. If you see your number here, you can take a screenshot of this and look at it later, guys. But these are the people that were in limbo. These are the people that were on the list who requested to figure out what was happening. And so it might be you, one of these numbers. There's no names next to this, so you're gonna have
your screen isn't being shown.
Oh, geez. Sorry, guys. Might have clicked the wrong button. All right, so this is from my contact over at Phemex. Some of the users from your community that emailed her already have been approved just now. We'll update tomorrow on the sheet who has been bound to you. And don't worry, I check my emails daily and make sure I request from the team to bind all eligible users who emailed me. So I don't know who these belong to. You can take a screenshot of this and check to see if this is your UID or if you're on this list. It's up here. You just click right here where the little circle is and it shows your UID under your name. And you can take a screenshot of that. In fact, I will copy it and I will just put it in the Zoom chat.
Is there a way to check to see if we are bound to you?
If you used our link when you signed up, our referral link, you are. If you signed up without any problems and you're accessing your account, without any problems,
Yes. Okay.
then if you're having problems signing up or it's giving you some kind of code saying you're in an unrestricted area and all that kind of stuff, or you don't see when you click on that link and you go to the VIP rewards, you don't see Nico, you don't see my name anywhere as the referring partner, then you might be signed up under somebody else's referral link. But I'll put more information on that, and I'll have Bill update you on the list, because we got the list back. The list that was sent to us is everybody who we already, by the way, if you're new in here, guys, and you just joined us recently and you used our referral link to set up an account for Phemex, then you don't have any problems. The problem is that we have hundreds of members who signed up before we had a referral link. And then once they gave us the referral link, those members are being bound over and tied to us. And they had to go through each UID to make sure that they're in our group first before they do that. So that was taking a long time, and that was becoming a pain in the ass. But for those of you who've signed up since we've had our referral link, you shouldn't have any problems. You can, Joseph, you can email her yourself if you already have her email, but I already sent her the list of everybody. But if you have any questions, you certainly could. Let her know you're in Crypto Renegades, and they will bend over backwards to make sure everything's okay. All right, so let's get on to it. We got some interesting things going on here, guys. I know that the other day I showed you, let me just close some of these out here. The other day I showed you that on the weekly stochastic RSI, we have a crossover to the upside down here. And both the blue line and the orange line are now, well, the blue line is definitely above the dotted line, but the orange line is on its way. That is bullish. We also hit the upward trending support. Well, we didn't quite hit it over here yet, but we do have upward trending support, and we're still upward trending. In other words, we did not fall below that yet. And I'm going over all the positive bullish things. Okay, so right now, here's where we're at on a zoomed in, more local level. I mean, this is the daily, but on the daily, here's the problem. We're coming up and hitting the resistance here at 117.4. We couldn't get through it yet. We come back down. Let's go down to, let's say, the 4 hour. And on the 4 hour, we are winding into what I call the apex, which is this upward trending support, and the ceiling, which is this long running support and resistance line going all the way back to July 10th, where we had resistance, support, 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 resistance, resistance, support, support, resistance, resistance. So now if we break through this and we come up and break through that, that's great. That's bullish, and we will be heading up to retest previous all-time highs here. That's the first time we hit it, 123.8, and then 124.5 we wicked up to. But as you can see, even when we hit 124.5 here, we never held above the 123.2 or whatever it was, 123.3. We just wicked up above it and came right back below. So this technically is the all-time high, 124.5, but we're having a struggle getting above 117.4 right now. So I'm not concerned with that yet. When we get up there, we'll worry about that. Hopefully by the end of this week, that will happen. But if not, here's the other things that can happen if that doesn't. And this is kind of concerning, because the fact that we're struggling so hard to break a new high right now, and we've been stuck under the 112 for a while, and we did pop above the 112 here, this whole zone, this little 112 to 115 zone. We did break above all that, which is good. That was major resistance and support and resistance, and we did break above it, and now we're bouncing on top of it. That's all bullish. That all seems great. But how could we possibly drop still? Well, let's look at this. This is the market cap BTC dominance chart going all the way back to 2017. Whenever we drop off a cliff like this, it was altcoin season. Bitcoin loses dominance and altcoin season starts. We come all the way down here. This was in 2018. We bounce. We get all the way up to the top. 2020, going into 2021 right here. We drop all the way to the bottom. Altcoin season. This was the previous bull market, 2021 right here. Altcoin season, when we were dropping down to the bear market bottom. Now, this doesn't indicate the price of Bitcoin. This is the Bitcoin dominance chart. But this down here was when we were at 15.5. This one when we were at the high. And here we are, we bounce on this and we get up to the top, which was 124K. But as you can see, there is a resistance line. And even if this line wasn't drawn here and it was drawn from here over, we'd be hitting it and dropping and possibly breaking the upward trending line here. So does that mean we're going into altcoin season right now and Bitcoin's going to drop and that's it? We're going into a bear market? No. But we have to look at all of these, all the last few times. Now that's just a screenshot. Let's look at the actual Bitcoin dominance chart. And here it is. And here's something interesting as well. This is the weekly time frame. I'm going to go to the 2-week. And as you can see, on the 2-week, we are flipping the EMA ribbon, bearish, and we're coming back down to the bottom of it. Now, I did tell you that we flipped the EMA ribbon back to positive on the daily, on the Bitcoin chart, but on the weekly, we're way below it still on the Bitcoin dominance chart. And as you can see, this is the upward trend line that we literally are breaking below. So we only have a couple other instances we can look at, but let's look at it. Support, 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 resistance, resistance. We did double top here, and that can still happen. So what would that look like? That would look like this, us dropping down to somewhere in this level. Why here? Well, interestingly enough, that is also resistance, support, resistance, resistance, support, support, and right where we're at right now as resistance, maybe even under it, depending on where I put this. We need to bounce here, and what can happen is that it could come up for another retest, maybe even a little higher, kind of like it did here, with a little bit higher high, maybe hitting 126K, just like here when we hit 68K after coming up a little higher than 64K. This is, again, this is not the Bitcoin price. This is the dominance chart. But this right here was back when we hit the all-time highs of Bitcoin. And so something very similar is happening after coming down to these lows is we pumped all the way back up and we're breaking that to the downside and flipping this BMA ribbon, guys. As you can see, whenever we're above it, it's bull market-ish. Whenever we're below it, with the exception of, like you can see here, we did flip it back up, and that's kind of like what might be happening right now. I don't know if it is or not, but this is the weekly, and we are below it, far below it. Now we could come back up, but like here, we came up and then we dropped back below it again. But when we're below it, generally, it's a bearish thing. Like, let's just look here, way back even further. Back in 2017, when we flipped it from bullish to bearish, it was just a horrendous drop to the downside. So what does that all mean, really? I mean, if this is the Bitcoin dominance market cap chart, it could mean that we are going into altcoin season, and it also can be altered. It can change. Obviously, like here, we dropped, and let's just go back to that image again. It didn't go into altcoin season until after. Like here, we dropped, and then we made another run for it. Then it went into altcoin season. Could this be the time for this now? Or could this run back up and then come back down? So I think it could run back up and come back down. And maybe this is just a little retest like this one where we come down a little bit. It is, but here's the thing why it's important, because right now where it's at is the moment of truth. It is at this major resistance and support level. And so if it's going to break below this, and I'm not sure if it has yet or not, or if it's just bouncing on it right now, then, you know, this is going to be the moment of truth here. We got 4 days and 8 hours left of this chart on the weekly. If we go to the 2 weekly, we're just now coming to it, and there is a green candle. There is one candle above it, so it looks like it is holding as support. And it did come through the EMA ribbon to the bottom of it, and it's bouncing on the blue line, which is the 50-day moving average. So it needs to stay above that. Now, if it bounces here and comes back up, great. But it also could come back up just to retest the bottom of this upward trend line, like it did here. I'm going to change this to yellow so you can see it better. We hit it, broke through, and retested before falling. This one just broke through. It could come back up to retest, and it could retest way up here. So this is still an unknown right now, but it is something to keep an eye on or to be aware of. Down here on, when I look at the market cipher on the market cap, the BTC dominance chart, we do have money flowing out on the 2 weekly. Let's go to the weekly. Obviously a giant money flow out and a curve. And interestingly enough, it's curving right on that line that I was just talking about, that major possible support level. And it looks like any moment now, you see this wave, how it's cresting down here below, and it's coming to where the light blue is coming to a point. That when that happens, that's generally when you see a green dot. You see down here, the white, the lighter color of the wave crest, and green dot happens. Lighter crest, green dot happens. And usually when that happens, especially way down here below the center line, that usually is a curve back up, and that usually is a pump back to the upside. That's what happened that last time I was just talking about. And let's look at some other times. Here it curved, and we did have a big pump back up. Here we had bearish or bullish divergence. I believe we had an upward trend here. Higher lows, and then once it got back above this is when we had this big pump back up to the upside. Thank you, dear. So we already were down here, and now we're up here now. So this is now what's happening up here is we have a red dot, and this is the weekly time frame. We had a big red dot right here after a head and shoulders on the market cipher, and a huge drop from here to here. And if we look at the price, what was the price? I mean, what was the drop on the price?
Do they have charts for different coins on to do that, or just Bitcoin?
Yeah. Yeah, there's market cap for Ethereum. Yeah, you can do that on different coins.
Okay, so it go to the market cipher, and that's
No, that's not market cipher. This is trading view.
Oh yeah, well, that's what the little. Okay.
This down here is market cipher. That's just an extra indicator bundle that I have on trading view, but this whole thing is trading view. And up here, you would click on right up here in the upper left corner. You click on that, and you can pick. I'm on Bitcoin right now, but if I wanted to change that to like Ethereum, let's just say, I would put in ETH, and I could do all-time history index. I could do, same kind of thing. Futures.
That's good. Thank you.
Yeah. But since most of the cryptos correlate with Bitcoin, I focus more on Bitcoin because Bitcoin is the tide that rises all ships, so to speak. But until it loses dominance, once it loses dominance, and we do go into alt season, that's when you see discorrelation or a breakout or a breakup of the correlation. Whereas all of a sudden Bitcoin's going down, but Ethereum is going up or XRP is going up. Very rarely do you see that. You only see that when Bitcoin loses dominance in altcoin season. So we go back to the regular chart here. From that drop that I was just showing you is from 124 all the way down to 107. It does look like we bounced. It does look like we're on our way back up. But so this drop right here is from the top all the way back down. It does look like we're back up on the chart on the price, but are we? Look at it, it's just hovering down here. Now we do have a big curve on the weekly. We don't have a green dot yet, but I would imagine once we do, and once that does print, that might be a good entry point for Bitcoin. Now I am already, let's go back once again. I am long on Bitcoin and Ethereum at the moment. And I posted that in the signal channel up here from our last call, my current positions. Bitcoin and Ethereum, those are the exact same positions I'm in. It just hasn't done much since then. I did post this entry today, this morning for Ethereum, but I did note that this is the same position posted on Monday, still in it. But I was just thinking that a breakout is imminent. Let's go back to Ethereum. It's the 1 hour. And it does look like we might have broken down. Let's just see here. Are we breaking to the downside? Let me just see where this line is. Oh, I have it at the top of the cup and handle. This is a different computer, so my chart looks a little different here. Yeah, I might have had it in the right spot, right about there. We are in this, we are winding down. We are winding down in this channel. There's a couple things that look a little dismal here. We have the upward trending support going all the way back to June. We hit it here. We bounced on it. Support, support, support. Wick through, came back above, wick through, wick through, wick through, support. This line right here, and then here we hit it as support, wick through, support, 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 wick through, and then came back up as resistance. So we are bouncing on this previous support as resistance. And also we did break through it in a downward trending channel that we are still in, but we're also coming up against major support here at the 4470 range, which is this previous major support and resistance zone, this line right here. So we had support, resistance, resistance, support, support and resistance, 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 resistance. See that long wick up right there, and then support, support, support. So we are winding into an apex right now. Can't get any more apexy than that. That's pretty much it. We also possibly have higher. I mean, you can't even make that up. Look at that. That's definitely higher lows. Let's just make that yellow also. So downward trending, wick through, came back above, holding support on this line, boom, 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 hitting resistance on this line, boom, 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 coming into an apex. And then we also have higher lows here. So we have a low, and then we came up and had a higher low, and then we came up and had a higher low. So if we draw this upward trending support and this downward trending resistance and this horizontal trending support, it brings us into an apex right here. So a breakout is imminent anytime now, but which direction? We already did come below the upward trending support. So is it possible that we broke below it and retested as resistance and we're getting ready to drop? Yes, that's possible. But we would also have to break this horizontal support. And then if that happens, where would we go? We would probably fall somewhere down to this level. I don't know. And this would be the next major support resistance level. We got a couple of them here. We got kind of we got kind of a, I would say, a price range here. Where we had resistance, support and resistance, support and resistance. I mean, this is where we bounced right here, guys. Look at this. We hit it and bounced, and this is where we just shot straight up to here. But we came all the way back down to that same level here. I would say right in this zone here. We came right back down to the same level. And yeah, we could just come right back and retest that in this zone somewhere, or the top of this, which is the ceiling of that zone. So we have the floor and the ceiling, support, resistance, support, a lot of support and resistance going all the way back at the top up here. I can get rid of some of these other lines, but very similar. I won't get rid of that because this is a very similar situation. We had this falling wedge. We came all the way down to this level before breaking out. Now we have this somewhat of a falling wedge, not really, but it's a falling channel coming all the way down, maybe to this level again. So we could certainly, if we break to the downside of, if you want to draw your lines at 44.75, we break below that. Now I am in a long position here because I'm expecting, I'm hoping for a breakout to the upside, but there are some things that make me worry that that may not happen. Now we are on, if I go to the daily, we are falling on the RSI. If I go to the weekly, we are at the top of the RSI and possibly falling. The blue line crossed the orange line to the downside. Both of them are just now below the dotted line. It does look like the blue line's curving back around a little bit, but generally speaking, it could just straighten right back out like this. Blue line looks like it's curving a little bit here, and it could drop first before pumping up. So I'm a little concerned with that on Ethereum. Now I do have a tight stop loss. I'm not overly worried about it. Let's go and look up close. No, it's not that tight. I'm going to move my stop loss now to right under that level because there's two things, guys. As I just mentioned, we broke through the upward trending support. We retested it and then we dropped. Now we're holding support at the 44.75 and we're making higher highs coming back up to this, into this little apex zone. So I'm going to move my stop loss up to 44.58. Because to me, we could wick, I mean, we just did wick down a little bit below this line and we pop back up. But if we don't break to the upside and we break to the downside here instead, then there's going to be further dumping before there's any pumping.
Nico, do you think some of what we're seeing right now with Ethereum could be people's insecurity about whether or not Powell will drop the interest rates?
Yeah, with everything, Bitcoin. When is the announcement? When is the meeting today?
I believe it's 2 o'clock.
Yeah, it's 2 Eastern.
Yeah, so what I would do is I would wait. If you're not in any open positions, I would wait to get in any until after that. Because if you're in no position, it's okay. I'm going to stay in. I'm just going to have tight stop loss. But what normally happens is, no matter what happens, people make decisions prior to what's being said or what the actual final outcome is. And we usually see whipsaw action. And it could be like this, like this, like this. And what happens is it just comes right back into the same track that it was in, always. So people get taken out. Their stop losses get hit if they're short. Their stop losses get hit if they're long. They get taken out. Usually there's a huge whipsaw action, but what you don't want is to get liquidated on this whipsaw action. So if you have a close liquidation, you might want to put a tight stop loss in. It's okay to get stopped out, but you don't really want to get liquidated. So, but normally what I see happen always with these announcements is a lot of volatility very quickly. up and down, up and down, and then it just comes right back. And when it calms down, it comes back right into the same channel that it was in. So if you're not in any trade, you can wait for the announcement to be over. And you might say, well, what if I miss it? What if it's good? What if it's good news and it pumps? Well, it could, but generally speaking, the first, going into the announcement, you watch from 1:30 to 2, from 1:30 to 2:30 before they really even say anything, you're going to see a lot of volatility happening. And it's usually against what you think it's going to be. It's usually the opposite direction of what you think is going to happen. So if you think lower interest rates is good news, why would the price drop? If you think lowering interest rates is bad news, why would the price go up? But I'm also in Bitcoin, so let me just look at that real quick. I am long on Bitcoin. And we're kind of just, we did hit the top. We're kind of in this little weird apex here coming up. We hit it and we're bouncing now on the upward trending support again. Boom, 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 boom. Into an apex. We did hit a ceiling here right at 117.2. And then we coming back down and bouncing on this upward trending support. So to me, that's good. Right now we're bouncing on it. Let's look at the RSI. Stochastic RSI and the weekly is still bullish, bouncing. And as you can see down here, we are a blue line coming across the orange line into the grayed out area, which is positive. Up here on the price, it's a big bounce right where that happens. So it's kind of precarious. We're in a situation now, we got interest rates. So today is a good day to see how that's going to affect things. But as you can see, I have a stop loss here already in profit, I believe. Let me just look. I am long on Bitcoin. And let me go to the lower time frame. Yeah, my stop loss is already in profit here, and it does look like we might break this upward trending support. I'm not so sure. It bounced, but it did not start to get a higher high. So let's see what's happening here. We do have a downward trending resistance line, and it looks like it might be breaking to the downside. But it did that here a little bit. It wicked down and then popped back up. So this is not necessarily good. I'm going to move my stop loss a little bit closer just for the time being, because if it hits it, I'll be taking on profit and I'll reassess. I'm just going to wait. If this gets hit right here, if it doesn't sling back up, guys, I'm just going to wait till the announcement. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. All right. Sorry about that, guys. Right. So any other questions at the moment? AI says lower interest rates tend to be a positive catalyst for Bitcoin by increasing investor appetite for riskier assets and boosting liquidity in the financial markets. Liga, thank you.
Hey, Nico, I have a question.
Yes.
If you're trading a crypto that's a lower volume crypto, like maybe 1 million or less, and is there a certain, like, using leverage, is there a certain dollar amount that you would try to stay under to not like make yourself a target? Like, for example, if it was trading, say, 1 million per day and you got crazy, you had, say, 10,000, with leverage, so you were like a huge position. Is that going to tend to attract like a swipe your direction, or that totally has no effect on it?
Yeah, probably does. Bill, you on here? Did you hear that one? You want to answer that?
I'm sorry, can you ask that question again?
Sure, Bill. What I was asking is that, is there like if you're trading a lower volume crypto, is there a certain percentage or dollar amount you want to stay under to that day's trading to not like make yourself a target? Like say it was trading 1 million a day and you just decided to be crazy and had, say, 10,000 and using leverage and had a huge position. What percentage do you try to stay below on the volume to not like make
Draw
yourself
attention to yourself?
Yes,
Wow,
exactly.
that's a great question. You're going to make yourself a target anyway with that kind of money on the board in a low volume token. Anybody
Right.
that's watching
What do I want to stay under? Like 10%, 5%?
10%, 1% of the market. So if it's 1 million, I wouldn't trade more than 100 grand. I wouldn't even try because you're
Okay.
going to draw a lot of attention to yourself.
Got it. Okay.
That's
Awesome.
a really good question because you can. I did it on one of the basic calls to show how you could move the market. I had, I don't know, 72 grand in mock money. I'd built up too much, and I wanted to lose it all at once. So the way to do that is just take a long and a short with your slippage as high as you can get it over and over. I spiked the whole market that day in Atom. It was crazy.
Yeah,
So yeah,
I
you can
saw it too
definitely
with
have
mock
influence.
trading. Yeah, I was playing with mock trading. I took a huge position on the low on one on there. I felt like I was pulling it in that direction. So I just was curious. So it's like
Right.
so less than 1% of the volume for the day.
I
You would
would
not.
I would start there. Yeah, less than 1% of the total volume and
Okay. Got it. Thank you.
and then see. Yeah, there's something to be said for blending in, guys.
But you can spread that out across different platforms.
Yeah, you can do that too.
Yeah, I've done that before, guys. If I go over to PooCoin, I've crashed markets before on shit coins. If I go over to let's say Better.
So what's the deal with if they notice you? What does that imply? I don't understand that.
A whale can easily, with a little bit bigger, more money than you, not necessarily have to use leverage. They can push the market the other direction and just take your money, liquidate you, cut you out at your stops with no problem at all.
Yeah, so I mean, this is an
Okay.
example. Like this is Vetter token. This was an IPO that ICO rather, that we got in on a couple of years ago. And as you can see, well, biggest buyers from 6/3/2025, 24 to 9/7. Let's go to sellers. Let me refresh that. It might take a while to upload that. Man, this thing is still trading every day.
You guys got in that one before I joined the group. I think you guys made a lot of money on that one, didn't you?
Oh yeah. You see this?
Wow.
See this?
Did you do that?
No. No, that's a buy. I wouldn't have done that at that point. That was like a year ago. But these are probably, this is probably better developers pumping the price up on these buys. But if I could go back far enough, I mean, this is taking a while to load. I don't want to waste too much time on this, but let me go to the hourly and see. I might need to go to like the daily.
When you do go back to the charts, the regular charts, Nico, Matt asked if your stop loss for ETH was 44.58.
Yes, I believe so. Let me just go back and look. So yeah, this was back in the beginning when this token launched. And if you just look at the price, I mean, there was nothing. It didn't exist before this. It launched at 0.0009 cents and went up to 0.02 cents. So if you do the math, that's about a 50x. That's not 50%. That's 50,000%. And so this sell right here, like some of these sells in here were us and our group selling. And when we sold, we dump it. I mean, the whole market dumped, but then, some people bought back in, pumped it back up. And then like this sell right here, it's not loading. I'm trying to get it to load. You can see down here, the sellers, but what kind of money are we talking about here? We're talking about, starting with $2,000 here, and that be $67,000 here, and then selling $50,000 of it right here, and that causing that sharp of a move because the liquidity and the volume, the liquidity wasn't that high. There wasn't that many people with that much money to sell. And no, people don't know who you are, but they see the buyers and the sellers down here. They see the wallets down here and how much they're selling, but you can also see it on the chart immediately when it happens. Huge dumps, huge pumps. And yeah, it was fun back in the day when we were getting in on these ICOs. I mean, it's very difficult to get in on a legitimate one these days, but yeah, with enough money, you can definitely move the entire market. That's just like, Michael Saylor, when he buys $200 million worth of Bitcoin, that's this pump right here. Boom, 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 boom. One person. But then people sell and take their profit and comes back down. Ethereum, my 44.58 is the stop loss on ETH.
Did you change it then? They're asking about the signal channel saying 4407.
Yeah, he just changed it live a couple minutes ago.
There you go, folks.
I moved it up. Let's just go look at it right here. It was down here somewhere, and I just moved it up closer in case we break this line here. What did I just say it was? 44.58. Go look at XRP. What is XRP doing? I think XRP is just pretending like it's sleeping and pretending like it's falling, but we are winding into a big apex. That's why I didn't go back long on XRP, because we need to break out of this. We need to break out of this downward trending resistance to the upside and make a higher high. Generally speaking, higher than this, but more importantly, somewhere up in this range here. So this is where we had major support and resistance up here. Support, resistance, resistance, resistance. And then we started falling. We've had lower highs ever since. And even though this one did get above the downward trending support, it didn't fell back below it. And so if we break out here, we could come up anywhere up in this range and still have a lower high. So it would, in my opinion, would need to get above 336, but that doesn't mean I wouldn't go long on the breakout, because the long on the breakout here could bring us up to these levels up here, which is somewhere in the $4.30 range. I am kind of expecting that to happen eventually here. I just don't know when. but we're in a overall upward trending channel. We're in a bullish flag channel. Inside the overall upward trending channel, between this line and this line, which is the top resistance and the bottom support. Inside of that, we have a big bull flag, and we are in that apex, and we are making higher highs on this local level right up to the top of the apex. So are we going to stay in the apex? This is the center line, by the way. And are we going to stay in this apex and come back down and retest this center line here and bounce on this and then break out? Or are we going to break out here? I don't really think we're going to drop below the upward trending support, this one. But we could stay in this downward trending channel until we get to the support again, because we did not hit it yet. If we're looking at it as a possible falling wedge, like this one hit it, bounced on it here, and then went up. We didn't even hit it yet this time. We could hit it, come back up and hit it again before breaking out. It could look like this. Boom, boom, boom. So we could see some lower prices in the short term, guys. This is the moment of truth, though, because we are in the final stages of the bull market, in my opinion. Can the bull market go into 2026? Yes. In fact, but will it get higher is the question. So if we go and look at the overall, let's just go to the 12-month chart. I'm sorry, I'm on Bitcoin market cap. Let me go back to the fourth candle after the bear market bottom is always the bull market top so far in Bitcoin's history. So we have a bull market. Somewhere before here, there was a bull market top, bear market bottom, bull market top, 1, 2, 3, 4, bull market top, 1, 2, 3, 4, bull market top, 1, 2, 3, 4. We are in that fourth candle now, and there's 3 months and 15 days left of it. And that brings us right to December 31st, January 1st. So to me, we got 3 months left of the bull market. Now, what I was just saying is that, can we still be in a bull market going into 26 rather? And the answer, I think, is yes, because even here, bull market top, we come down, and then the next candle opens. So that would be like the candle that opens on January 1st. This candle will be done. This candle will be done on January 1st, but there will be another candle starting, which is going to be the next candle on the 12-month time frame going in to 2016. Each one of these candles is a year. So this is the end. This is the 2025 candle. The next one's 2026. That candle, just like this one, when this one opened, it did go up first before it went down. You can see that. You can see the wick. Let me get rid of this. You can see the wick right there. It did go up first before it went down. And it did not go higher than the previous candle. And none of them ever, but this one did too. You can see right there. It did not go higher. This one right here did not go higher. So this one's always the top. This one right here did not. It went up a little bit right here. You can see that little wick, but it did not go higher. Then this one's the bull market. I mean, this was the bull market top. This one's the bull market top. This one's the bull market top. And that's what we're in right now. So the question is during the next, and we have 3 months and 15 days. So in this next 3 months and 15 days, is this going to go up to 180,000? Is it going to flounder around where it's at right now? And, over the next 3 months, just the next candle opens? Is it going to come down a little bit and then the next candle opens? Is that little line that we see at the top of that, the top, which was 124? Was that the top right there? That's the thing. Here, during this bull market, there was a time when there was 3 months left, just like right now. And it went up to here and came all the way back down to here. And that 3 months was up, boom, the next candle opened. So this was the top up here, which was 19,980. And it did not open the next candle until 13,008. That's a $6,000 difference. May not seem like a big difference, but I bet you would have wished you went short at 19 instead of here. But even here, once this candle closes and this candle opens, we pretty much know that this is the top. You could short here, but what if you went short here? As soon as this candle opens, you went short and the price went up. It went from 13,008 all the way to 17. Didn't quite get to 19. It did wick up a little bit before dropping. So this is what I'm trying to say, is that there is that possibility, even back here. This is the top, but this historically has always been the top. So there's a couple ways to play this. You could either short right now, but you don't know if it's the top yet, or you wait until this candle prints. This candle prints, meaning it's no longer moving. The next candle has started. Every one of these candles have printed because they're done. This is the current candle we're in. When this candle prints, the next candle starts. Whatever the top was here is probably the top of the bull market. Now, does that mean it definitely will be whatever the top is? No. See, that's the problem. Guys, I don't have a crystal ball. I'm only basing everything that I say on historical charting. I'm a price action trader. I'm looking at I'm analyzing the charts, and this is basically technical analysis 101. But you have to look at the history. And when the history shows you a certain thing happening every single time, why would I now think it's going to be different this time? Could it be different this time? Yes. Should I just assume it's going to be different this time? No. I'm going to have to be proven that it's different. Now, there is one thing that did happen. Let me go to the 6-month chart. Same thing. Bull market, top, 1, 2, 3, bear market bottom. Now, the difference on the 6-month chart is not every fourth candle. Instead, you go to the bear market bottom, and then you count 4 candles after the first engulfing candle after the bear market bottom. So we have a bear market bottom. We have an engulfing candle, which is the candle that took us from the bear market, starting the bull market. And then you count 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That was the bull market top. Bear market bottom, first engulfing candle. 1, 2, 3, 4. That was the bull market top. But here's something interesting. In 2021, we had an anomaly. Whereas this candle printed, this candle opened, which was the 5th candle, and it did get slightly higher than that one. That was the first time that ever happened in Bitcoin's history, even going all the way back. And it went, this one was 64.5, and this one went to 68. And then it dropped, and then that was the beginning of the bear market. So this candle still was the beginning of the bear market, but it did go up a little higher than this one. So the dangerous part about just assuming that we're there. So now if we look at the 6-month time frame, we got the bear market bottom, first engulfing candle. Actually, which one was the bear market bottom here? Yeah, so back to what I was saying, is this time different? This time was different for the 6-month time frame.
How did you do during that anomaly?
Well, we did short a 68. I didn't know this. I didn't know this about the 6-month and the 12-month charts back then. And so we did short 68K. And we did get it. We were lucky. I mean, we did call the top, but we were basing that off of the 4-year cycles. we were basing that off of 3 years up and 2 year and 1 year down for bear market. And that was the third year, the end of the third year. And that's what we're in right now, guys. So we were in the end of the third year of a bull market cycle. If we go back to the yearly, 1, 2, 3, it's 3 years up, 1 year down, 1, 2, 3, 3 years up, 1 year down. So we got 1, 2, 3 years up, 1 year down, 1, 2, 3 years up, 1 year down, 1, 2, 3 years up. And that's the way it's been since the beginning. And now, guys, this is only the fourth bull market. If you even count the first one, which no one even knew about. So we don't have that much history, but there is 15 years of price action. There is 15 years of history, but there's only, 4 bull market cycles, only 4 4-year cycles, right? Out of those 15 years. So, however, the first 3 are pretty telling. The first 3 are pretty telling. And so why would I second guess that cycle just because this time is different? Oh, just because people say this time is different. We don't really know what's going to be different, but there are differences for sure. We have a whole different political landscape, whereas now we got everybody in government and their brother and the president of the United States not only backing crypto, but actually buying it and promoting their own coins. That has never happened in history. We got 13 or 14 of the largest hedge funds in the world all having Bitcoin ETFs, Ethereum ETFs, and getting ready to drop now XRP ETF, altcoin ETFs. So
My
that's
question is when that anomaly happened in 2021, based off of your technical analysis, were you able to see like, oh boy, we got to pull or flip a bitch right now and do a U-turn?
Yeah. So there was some other things happening. We had COVID. So that was something that was definitely causing a problem in the country and taking the attention away from investing in crypto in general. People didn't care because they were now worried about their lives. So that happened in 2021. And then in addition to that, we had FTX come out, and they were supposed to be the new greatest thing since sliced bread. This new exchange where it was endorsed by not only politicians but all celebrities alike, right? So we had the celebrities and politicians promoting it. Sports stars, movie stars, rock stars, actors, all jumping on the FTX bandwagon. So we had COVID all through this, and then we came and had a big run up for it, and then FTX scandal collapsed and millions were stolen, and we never got above this level here. So this could have been a failed rally. It turned into a double top, and that was the beginning of the bear market. But because of everything that was going on, I think we went short somewhere down in here on this breakout of this structure right here when we could not get higher. It's easy to see on a weekly in hindsight, but when you're looking at it, when you're looking at it from this angle, we had resistance, support. We broke through and it was resistance, and we pumped up and fell back below it. So I believe we shorted somewhere around here, which was a lot lower than the top. But we were saying in our group that this was probably a double top, that this was going to be the end because this is a failed rally, and this never held above this. So if you draw a line from the all-time high and you just draw it across, yes, we wicked up above it, but we never held above it. And that was a problem. And same with here. When we got here, when we came over in this bull market all the way up, we got above previous all-time high. So I'm going to move this back up to 68K right there. As you can see here, when we got up here, we hit it as resistance. Boom. And then we wicked up above it to 73.8. And then we came back below it, and we never held above this. Never held above that line. And this, we went into a 280-day, 7-month downward, falling bullish flag, I guess you could say, but it was major consolidation for 7 months, lower highs, and lower lows until we wicked down to this previous resistance at 48K or 49K right here. And then we bounced out of there. But that took
like a huge cup and handle too.
Oh, it was. Yeah. It was a big cup and handle. And of course we did pump accordingly. Like if we take this cup and we look at this cup and handle here, and we just look at the other side of it, and we draw a trend line from the depth of the farthest depth of the cup here down to 15.5 to the rim of the cup, and we take that and we put that to the breakout. That's exactly where we pretty much pumped up to. Let me just make that accurate because I believe that it was almost exact. I don't know where we put that line exactly. It's got to be right there. That's why. So yeah, we already took advantage of that on that breakout. We saw that coming on the rise. So we knew we were in the bull market down here. We knew we were breaking out, especially when we got over 20, I think it was 24K right here. Once we got above that and held as support. The only thing that was an anomaly to us also that never happened is we never retested the 30K. So 30K right here is a major resistance zone. And it was resistance back here when we were dropping from the 2021 bear market. It was support here, and it was support way back here, going all the way back to 2021 here on the way up. We hit it as resistance, support, hit the all-time high of 64.8, came down and hit it as support, came up and hit a new all-time high at 68, came down and hit it as support. And then we broke through and hit it as resistance. Bear market, obviously. And then on the way back up, a year, 2 years later, we hit it as resistance, and we finally break through. And we never touched it again after that, which was strange. Normally, you would break through, come up to a bull flag like this, and then, you know, it would be a long running bull flag, usually something like this, where it would wick down all the way back to that level before. So this was not healthy market structure. We should have retested that before breaking out, but we never did. And so to me, it wasn't normal market structure. It wasn't the way that things normally work, especially on a major support resistance level. And so even back here and back here and back here, I was telling everyone, Bill and some people in the group can probably attest to this. I was saying that we could still come back down and retest the 30K, which would be here.
I was hoping.
Yeah, me too. And we wicked down here. We came all the way to 48, and that didn't seem strong enough. But when I go back and look, it was also, major resistance on the way up, resistance, support, resistance, support, and resistance on the way up. So we did hit that. We did come back down and hit that. But is it possible that we could still hit 30K? Yeah.
I'm gonna dollar cost average like crazy if that happens.
Yeah. A lot of people don't think it could because, we're in a new era and ETFs and all of this stuff and Michael Saylor and everything that's going on. But just keep in mind, we hit 68K right here and fell to 15.5. That was a 79% drop to the downside. If this was the top where we are right now, a 79% would bring us right to, oh, well, look at that. 30K.
That would be great.
Now,
people would lose their minds. Sunnyville said people would lose their minds. They would.
Yeah. And it can happen, but let's say,
then it goes to $1 million.
Let's say we double this from 68K and we double that in this bull market. So what would that be? That would be 68. I think it was 68.7 to be exact, times 2. That would bring us up to 137 in this bull market, which would be
right at the fibs.
Yep, 137 right there. And so then a 78% drop to the downside. Look at that, 30K. And that's exactly what happened here. We went to 68K and dropped to 15. So going up to 138 and dropping to 30 is the exact same thing. We double the top to 138 and we double the bottom from 15 to 30. So of course it's possible. I don't really know that it's going to happen. I'm not counting on that happening, but And I kind of hope it doesn't, because that would be devastating in the short term for a lot of people, but it would be the best buying opportunity in the world. And of course, what I'm in order for me to even contemplate that it could go down far, I would have to see it break this upward trending support that comes all the way down to this level, all the way down from 15.5. We got 26K here. We hit it a couple times here in the 58K range. We hit it again here in 76K range. And if we come and break this upward trending support, to me, that will happen, but that will happen maybe the end of this year when we actually do go into a bear market. And maybe we will go up higher first, all the way to, I don't know, let's say we come over here and maybe we hit it, I don't know, and then we go up to 138, like we just said, and then we come down and break. Once we break this, we're going to be shorted, and especially if it correlates with the end of the year, because that would just be just in time for that 12-month candle. So things, a lot of things have to match. It can't just be the 12-month candle. The 12-month candle has proven so far to be the top on the fourth candle after the bear market bottom every single time, or the fourth candle after the previous bull market top every single time is also the top. But I'm going to look at that at the time. So December 31st, January 1st, I'm going to look at that, but I'm also see, are we breaking this? Are we even close to breaking this upward trend line? And if we are, then I'm just going to call the top. And I'm putting my reputation on the line when I do that, but I would probably call the top at that point. We called the bottom too. We went long at 17K. We said that was the bottom at 17K. Now, was it the exact bottom? No, 15.5 was, but there was a reason why we did call it 17K. And I'll show you why right here. If I go to the RSI, not the stochastic RSI, but the regular RSI, and we go to the weekly, which we are on, back here, this was the top, and this was 15.5 right here. So what has happened? We saw on the stochastic RSI that we had bearish divergence. We had an all-time high right here on the price at 40K. And then we had a higher high and then a higher high over here. So we had a high and a lower high here. That was bearish divergence. And then we come down and we come back up and hit this line right here. And as you can see here, we came back up, but we did not make a higher high. That was the beginning of the end. So we shorted that. So that was the bear market. We get down to around here. We bounce. Let me get rid of this. Right here at 17K. We bounce. And then we come down a little bit to 17.5 or so. And the reason why we thought that we were in the bull market was just starting is because we broke this line on the weekly stochastic RSI right here. Boom. We finally broke above it. But we were a little premature in calling that the beginning of the bull market because, as you can see, we broke above it and then we retested. And that retest, that drop right there was us dropping from 17.5 down to 15.5. That was really the beginning. But that's all we were waiting. All that needed to happen was that retest, this downward trending resistance line as support. And that was the beginning. Now here, how will we know this time? Same thing. We have bearish divergence. We had a high here at 73.8. We had another high here at 108 right here. And then we had a lower high. And then we had another high here at 123. And as you can see, we had a lower high again. So right now, again, bearish divergence, very similar. The difference here is that we had 3 lower highs and 3 higher highs. Whereas here we had 1, 2, 3 lower highs and only 2 higher highs. We technically had 3 higher highs because we had this high, and then this high. But this one, so this one technically was a high, a lower high, a lower high, and a lower high. So we have 4. But this last one here, this fourth one here was a lower high, did not get higher. Whereas here, we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 higher highs because we had 73.8. We had 108, then 109, then 112, then 123.5, and then 124.5. And every time we did that, you can see down here, all of these little touch points, but lower. So there's going to come a time when we go into a bear market the RSI drops, the price drops, and we start to go down, and this will drop down here like this, and we will get below the floor. What is the floor on the RSI? It's right here at around the 35 level on the RSI. But below it, we hit it, we bounced above it, and then that's when we broke out. So here we could do that. We hit the floor. We come down and hit the floor. We break through it, and then we finally break out. Once we break out here, guys, we're going to know that it's bull market time. And we'll also know where the bottom is, roughly, give or take a couple $1,000s, which is pretty damn good.
Nico, I have a quick question. Might be retarded, but when you're shorting the bear market, is it smarter to do it in USDT because you know how I'm coin M positive? That's what I do. Is it smarter to do coin M short and stay the same route, or switch everything to USDT and short it with USDT?
I mean, you can do both.
Or is there no difference?
You're accumulating let's just say it's Bitcoin, you're accumulating Bitcoin on the way down, but the value of each Bitcoin is getting less on the way down as well, but you're accumulating more of it. So up here, let's just say you did this with one Bitcoin. Let's say this was the top and you shorted it. And you had one Bitcoin short. And then it goes all the way down from 140, let's just say it goes all the way down to 70 again. Okay, that's an exact 50% drop. Let's say it doesn't go down to 30, it just goes to 70. Boom. That makes more sense. So your one Bitcoin just dropped in value from 140 to 70K. But if you were shorting your whole Bitcoin at 10x leverage, let's just say, not even a lot of leverage, but let's just say 10x leverage, that price drop is 50%. So you got a whole Bitcoin at $140,000, dropping to 70,000, but you're at 10x leverage. So you go down 50%. So let's just multiply this by 50%. That's 70K. That's the amount that your one Bitcoin is worth now, but you're at 10x leverage. So you now have 10 Bitcoins worth 70,000. So down here, the value of each Bitcoin dropped in half, but you accumulated 9 more. So now down here, yeah, each Bitcoin is only worth 70 grand now, but you got 10 of them. Whereas here you only had one.
Yeah, that's why I'm mainly coin heavy. Because then you could just take loans out against it as opposed to just having cash.
So what would happen if you just went with USD and wrote that down from 140 to down to 70?
Basically the same thing I just said, except for it would be held in USDT, which then you could buy the Bitcoin, right? You could buy 10 Bitcoin when it got down there if you wanted the Bitcoin, or you could cash out or whatever. So basically nothing changes. The only difference is you're staying in Bitcoin with the coin M, and you would have to buy Bitcoin. You would be making a lot of USDT on the way down in that same scenario.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, nothing really changes there. It's just two different assets. One's Bitcoin, one's USDT. The difference is that USDT is pegged to the US dollar. So if you did that with USDT and you got down here and let's say you had $700,000 with USDT as opposed to $700,000 with Bitcoin, and then all of a sudden the price started going up on Bitcoin. And let's say you got out of the trade here. So you got 700K, right, worth of USDT. But Bitcoin started pumping back up. This is the new bull market now. If you just kept it in Bitcoin, and even if you did not trade at all, you just left it in Bitcoin, and now you got 10 of them down here worth 700 grand. And now the price goes up to $1 million on the next bull market. Now you got $7 million worth of Bitcoin, whereas the person with the USDT still has $700,000 worth of USDT. Because the USDT is not going up in value with Bitcoin. You would have to enter another trade long with that 700,000 worth of USDT in order to get the same gain that the person with Bitcoin would get.
Right. So if you're looking to eventually, like whether you go with Digital Ascension Group or not, or anybody else, it's smarter to have the assets so you could take loans out against it, and just as opposed to USDT.
Yeah, in a perfect world, if everything goes the way we want, obviously the scenario I just gave is a perfect situation where you short Bitcoin with Bitcoin, you accumulate a lot more of it on the way down, and you stay in the Bitcoin while it goes all the way up now to new all-time highs. Now, what are the other things that could happen? Well, let's say you do that with your one Bitcoin and you short it, and yeah, you're making more Bitcoin, but let's say it goes all the way down to $1,000 per Bitcoin. Well, now you got 100 Bitcoin, but they're only worth 100,000 each. I mean, they're only worth 1,000 each. So you got $100,000 with a Bitcoin. Whereas up here you had one Bitcoin at 70 or 140K. So technically, but now that's a worst case scenario. Do I think that can happen? Probably not. I don't think Bitcoin ever gets probably lower than 20 or 30K again, ever. But, and I don't think it may not even ever get that low, but I don't even think it would get that low. And the reason why I say that price is because what could cause that to happen? Is it still possible for that to happen? And the answer is probably yes. If we had an economic collapse, if we had a depression, a recession turning into a depression, if we had hyperinflation happen, if the US dollar, wasn't dominant anymore, we had a big problem in the country, financially, economically, going into a recession or depression kind of situation, could Bitcoin drop? Yeah, historically, the stock market drops 20 or 30%, Bitcoin drops, or crypto drops 5 or 10%. Historically, crypto does not drop as much as the stock market does historically. But could that ever change? I mean, if people were scared and there was some bigger thing happening in the world and they didn't care anymore, sure, of course, all kinds of crazy shit could happen. I don't even want to think about that. If we had a zombie apocalypse and, an EMT was blasted off in the atmosphere and it knocked our power out for 4 months, 6 months.
Aliens or World War III. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I mean, most people wouldn't be overly concerned about their Bitcoin anymore. I mean, they would be worried about survival. So yeah, there are crazy things that could happen, which I don't even like to even entertain. But if you have any logical sense to you at all, you do have to at least realize that what the possibilities are, and maybe even plan accordingly. I don't even plan nearly as much as I should for things like that because the odds of them happening are low, but is it possible? And the answer is yes, it's certainly possible.
So Sailor keeps buying. If the price keeps going up, approaches 130, so depending on how much he buys, he raises his entry price too. So then it's no longer a $20,000 Sailor's in trouble. It becomes a $30,000, a $40,000 Sailor's in trouble. So it will be interesting to see how the bear market plays out.
Yeah. And he just seems to have a never-ending supply of money to continue to prop it up. But
Right.
yeah, and he can continue to do that until the rest of the world comes aboard. He could just be buying time. Now, is this guy the genius that he appears to be? Has he ever had any problems before? Has he ever screwed up before? Has he ever been wrong before? Yes, yes, yes. On all three of those. He is very smart. Don't get me wrong. I mean, to listen to him is to like listening to a mad scientist on finances. He's very smart. I mean, he's probably going to be the richest person on the planet if things work out in his favor. But if they don't, if the rest of the world doesn't see it the way he does and things just don't happen in the time frame or the timeline that he wants it to, it could work out very badly for him. But
I'm super excited for the altcoin season and us to keep pumping up. But I think the most interesting thing is going to be what happens next year on this. What is the bear market?
Yeah. Yeah. And
it's weird.
Yeah, and things can be different. They can be altered a little bit. I think overall bull market and bear market cycles continue. Some people think, oh, there might not ever be any more bear markets anymore. But I don't know if that's ever been the case, even in the stock market. There's always a bear market coming eventually. There's always a recession or depression coming. In fact, there is timelines and there are certain things to look out for. I have something. Let me see if I can find it to share with you guys. Get rid of this.
Because even when Google first came out, it had a huge pump, but then a massive dump before it took off to where it is now,
Oh yeah, for sure. And see, and another problem is that because it's such a slow, long process, people just don't remember. And that's why history repeats itself, because people don't remember history. You know, people wonder why we keep doing the same dumb things over and over again. It's because we just don't remember the pain from the dumb part. We weren't there. We weren't paying attention long enough to recall going through this again before. And so that's usually the problem with humanity in general. Let me see. Let me look at some of these. We hit parabola. I mean, we did go past this. This was a previous all-time high. We did break through it, and we are way above it. We're already way up here. But is that it, is the question. But there's another chart I wanted to show you guys. I'm trying to find it. I don't know what I did with it. Yeah, these are old. There's a fascinating old chart. Oh, here it is. Let me get rid of some.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's a good one.
Years in which panics have occurred and will occur again. A, all of these years up here. B, years of good times, high prices, and the time to sell stocks and values of all kinds. Now, when this was created, guys, there was no such thing as crypto or Bitcoin. This was created back in the late 1800s. And then C, years of hard times, low prices, and a good time to buy stocks, corner lots, goods, etc., and hold till the boom reaches the years of good times, then unload. Sure thing. Save this card, and I'll share this, guys, because when you really look at this and understand it, it's kind of crazy. So
It's called the Benner cycle. If anyone's interested, I did a breakdown on it and other esoteric methods. I'll post it if people are interested. It's
yeah,
fascinating.
definitely share this, guys, because this is where are we right now in the grand scheme of things? We are right here.
Does that include the tulip bull run?
Doesn't go far enough back. That happened in the 1600s, if I remember right.
So we possibly could be I'm gonna take some time to analyze it to give you a better explanation as to where we are in the grand scheme of things. But going into 2026 in just a couple months right now, right here, we could be in. We could be in store for a recession and hard times. Not we, I should say, the middle class and the lower class, and I say that with all due respect. I don't mean class of people. I just mean poor people or the regular working class, which
people like me.
could be, yeah, I was going to say, could be people like us and the group, but hopefully not you if you understand this and you make the right decisions, because some of you can become very rich during this time. In fact, most of the time, the people who do get super rich do it during the downfall of the economic hard times. That's when there's blood in the streets. As Warren Buffett would say, that is the time to get greedy. And this is the opposite of what human nature would have you do. It's counterintuitive to invest in things when everything's going down. Counterintuitive, right? People don't tend to do that because they're scared. But the people who do that are the ones that make all the money. So I'm gonna share that, and Bill can share it also. I don't know if he has something different to share, but I'll put it in my. I'll just put that chart, and you guys can print it or look at it, download it on your.
I'm having the GPT do a breakdown on it for the Discord on what the Benner cycle is and how it could apply to crypto. So that saves me having to find that. It's cool that it's signed by him in the lower right corner. You can see.
Yeah.
I wonder who uploaded that. It's
Yeah,
interesting.
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, he was a genius. There's a few of them. WD Gans one. They're just geniuses in
I
their
have
field.
this framed somewhere. It's in a box in one of my storage units. I haven't pulled it out to put it in my office yet.
That's awesome.
But, yeah, it's pretty cool, guys, and it's been accurate, like extremely accurate. That's the cool part about it. Is so when you look at it. So with that being said, we don't fear these economic downturns. We don't fear the bear markets. You just have to know how to take advantage of them. And people will get hurt and people will lose money, but it's usually those people are the ones that are not paying attention, the ones that are playing around and they're not taking their finances seriously, and they're not making the right moves and the right investments during the good times or during the bad times in order to secure their future. Because most people will just ride a bear market down and lose all of the value of their holdings, whereas smart people will be shorting the market and making more riches on the way down. And then when the bear market's over, the broke people have nothing left to invest, whereas the people that took advantage of that downturn now will get super rich on the way back up in the next bull market. So you just have to be contrarian. It's really the word. You got to be contrarian, which is going against the grain. And that is the black sheep methodology, which is the 1%. I mean, there's a lot of analogies that describe why only a handful of guys, it doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter if it's money or physicality or getting in shape or having six-pack abs. Doesn't matter. It's the same. 1% of the people will have it.
So I have a hypothetical. What if when Bitcoin turns to on the downside, starts falling, and you get in short, if you put $1,000 in and let it ride all the way to the bottom, what would you come out with?
Well, I mean, if Bitcoin goes to, let's just say hypothetically 150K, I can show you the math on it. You can still do quite well. I mean, if Bitcoin does
because I don't have a lot of money though.
That's okay.
$1,000 would be good.
Well, that's why you're here. Hopefully we'll change that. So at 150K, let's say Bitcoin gets to 150 and we think it's the bear market and we think we're going to drop and Bitcoin drops down to 75K. Let's just say, hypothetically speaking, that is a 50% drop to the downside the next bear market. And you have $1,000. Let's just say you're going to go short with $1,000 worth of Bitcoin or USDT. It doesn't matter. Right? So let's just do the math on that. So you got $1,000 and you go short here. But let's say you know it's the top. And you're very confident and you're willing to risk that $1,000. Okay, because let's just say it's not going to change your life if you lose the $1,000. You're not going to lose your house or your car or anything. You're going to lose your investment capital, but let's just say you're willing to risk it. $1,000. You go short. But because you're confident that Bitcoin is going down now and you're going to be in the green, and it drops 50%. So that would be $1,000 times 50%. Not that much, $500. But let's say you do it at, I don't know, 50x leverage. You just made 25 grand. So you made 25x your money. Now that may not still not, that's not enough maybe to retire you or to change your life, but it's 25 times more than you had, right? Going down. Whereas most people are losing their money because they're holding an asset that's going down in value. You're growing yours. And then, so at the bottom of this, now we say, hey, guys, this is it. We're going into the bull market now. Now you got 25K to invest on the way up, right? And then what? And then we say, we're going long. And you go long here at 75K, but this time, instead of $1,000, maybe you're going to put in 15,000 or 12,500. Let's say half of the money that you just made. So you made 25K and you're going to go long with 12.5 this time. Hypothetically, I mean, in a perfect world, guys, are you really going to ride from a bear market bottom to a bull market top? Maybe you could, but there's going to be lots of ups and downs along the way. As you can see here, it does go up, down, up, down, up, down. You'd have to really stick to it through that whole time. But let's say you did that. And let's say Bitcoin in the next bull run goes up to, I don't know, it could go up to 3 million, but let's just say it goes up to, I don't know, 500,000, just to be conservative here. Could go up to millions, but let's say 500,000. That's 567%. And now this time you got $12,000 on this. You're going long with $12,000, 12,500, and it goes up 567%. So that's times 567%. That's 70K. But because you knew it was the bottom and you went long with, I don't know, 25x leverage. You just made 1.7 million in the next bull market. So in one bear market, bull market cycle, you turned $1,000 into 1.7 million. Not too shabby. And that does put you.
I love that scenario.
What's that?
I love that scenario.
Yeah. And that is taking someone who might think they're in the working class, who might normally be hurt by an economic downturn, and turning them into a millionaire, possibly a multimillionaire, because, by the way, that's just what you would have at the end of the next bull market. But now you also have all the knowledge. You also know what you're doing. And now you can go short the next bull market with 1.7 million. Maybe you're going to risk 200,000 of that or 300,000 of that. Let's just do that hypothetical. And let's just see what would happen if you did that right here and you shorted this market all the way back down to the next bear market bottom. And who knows, let's just say it goes all the way back down to, let's say the next one, it just goes to 200,000. All right. So you now, and instead you went short with 300,000, which is a small amount of your total gains now. And now you 300,000 down 60%. Let's do this one more time. Times 60% to the downside, that's 180K, but you're at, I don't know, 25x leverage again. That's another 4.5 million you made on the next bear market after this next bull market. You ain't playing with chicken feed anymore. Now you're considered wealthy. You're considered rich. You're not no longer in the middle class, the lower class, or even the first class. You're like you're in the top 1%. You've been in the top 1% for a while at this point. And when I say that, I just mean of income earners or people with money. So it doesn't have anything to do with your personality or your character. So that's obviously in a perfect world, if everything worked out and you did exactly what I just said at the exact time I said it. But if you missed the timing and you only had half the money at risk, and you only did half as good or a quarter, you'd still do quite well. If you just, like, all this time you guys are in this group learning how to day trade, we're in the top stages of phase 4 of a bull market when you just started learning this. I mean, if you just time the top, once the top is in and you short, you can make an absolute fortune on the next bear market. And if you just time the bottom of the next bear market and go long at the bottom, you can make an absolute fortune during the next bull market run up. I mean, let's just zoom out right here one more time. We're going to have to wrap this call because we do have a basics call starting. And But let's just say, guys, you just came into this group right here at the bottom of a bear market, or you came in here or here. But here we are now at the bottom of the bear market, 15,500, and you went long and did exactly what I just said. Let's just say that we're in this group, we're saying, hey guys, this is it. It's bear market bottom. We think the bull market just started. Here's a good way. By the way, you don't have to do this with all your money. You could do this in a sub account, or you could take $1,000 in a sub account and go long and just hold. And in your other account, you can do scalping with us, and you can do the in and out day trades, the longs, the shorts, up and down, and you can scalp this to make more money. But in one account, you just went long here at the bear market bottom, and you're just going to wait it out. And let's just look what happened from 15.5, which is here, bear market bottom, all the way up to bull market top. That's exactly 686%, almost 700%, which is almost 7x. So if you had that $1,000 here, or at this point 10,000, let's just say by the next bear market bottom, let's say you had 10,000 or 5,000, $5,000 times 7x. $35K, and let's just say you did it at 50x leverage from the bottom. You just turned $5,000 into 1.75 million in one bull market cycle, which is over a 3-year period. Divided by 3, you're averaging 583,000 a year just sitting on that money waiting. And that's what we will be doing in this group, by the way, guys. Once we think the top is in, I'm going to be giving signals to short, and I will show you, if you want, how to do it in a different account so that you know, because there's going to be people that just want to short and wait for the bottom, and that's a 1-year wait. It's going to take a year, at least on average, at least so far throughout history. Bull market and bear market cycles have taken a year. 3 years up to the top, 1 year down. 3 years up to the top, 1 year down. Over and over and over again. So you can just get in one trade and go about your day, live your life, run your business, your job, whatever you do, and don't even trade the whole year and just wait for the bear market bottom and make more money probably than you would have if you scalped us all the way down. But if you learn how to trade on the way down and you're scalping in a separate account, you don't have to worry about this account. You can just let that one drop and let it go. But the problem is, you just got to remember, there's going to be downs where you're making a lot of money and then it's coming back up. You're going to be scared because you're losing, but it's still on the way down overall. So you just got to be able to withstand the ups and downs along the way. And you do that by trading in a sub account, and you can go long and short on all these ups and downs as it's dropping to the next bear market bottom. Hopefully that makes sense.
How do you manage your stop loss? I mean, you're far away enough so that your stop loss doesn't get triggered for that position that you hold for over a year.
Well, yeah. So once it starts, let's just say we call bull market top, and it starts to drop and it gets below certain levels. Your stop loss might be up here in the beginning, but once it gets below certain levels and then starts to drop further and gets below certain levels, you can move your stop. First, you're going to move your stop loss into break even. And then once it drops even lower, you're going to move it down even lower. And once it drops even lower and gets, down to certain levels and then comes back up and retests different support and resistance levels, you're going to move your stop loss even lower. So you're going to be in profit and moving your stop loss accordingly on the way down. But you do got to be careful. You might not want to move your stop loss too close. You might want to leave it up here to give it room to do that oscillating, that up and down on the way down. But there will come a time when you're way, way, way in profit, like hundreds of percentage gains, thousands, maybe even a percent gains, depending on your leverage. And you might just want to move your stop loss to at least a couple 1,000% in profit, just in case. You definitely want to lock in those gains. You don't want to leave that to chance.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm sure you covered it somewhere during the call, but I was in and out. Apologies for that. But what are the key levers that kind of dictate that the top, and now it's going to start falling, versus and vice versa? What that it's the bottom and it's going to start climbing. I mean, what defines the bull and the bear market start point?
Yeah, generally speaking, the bear market is a year from the top to the bottom, and the bull market is 2.5, 3 years from the bottom to the top. And I would say that I would think that the most accurate representation that I can see on any chart is the 12-month time frame. So if you go to the yearly chart, and it's not going to be as good on Phemex as it is on TradingView. So if you go over to TradingView and you look at the yearly, the 12-month time frame. See right here, 12-month. And I did go over this many times before, but I'll just say it real quick here. You can look at go back to, like, here's 2013 bull market right here. That's the bull market top right there. Count 4 candles after that. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the bull market top in 2017. Count 4 candles after that. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the bull market top in 2021. Count 4 candles after that. 1, 2, 3, 4. We are in the 4th candle now, and we have 3 months and 15 days left, which brings us to the end of the year, December 31st, 2025. Once December 31st, 2025 happens, and this counts down to 0, that candle will print. That means this candle will be done moving, and the next candle will start. When that next candle starts, to me, whatever the top of this candle was the top of the bull market. So this could go up to 180, 190, 200, or maybe it doesn't go up any higher and it just somehow fizzles around for the next 3 months, and then the next candle opens. If that's the case, then 124.5 was the top, where that little wick is right there.
It's interesting to see that the candles are reducing in size over the years. They're compressing. The
Yeah.
green ones.
Well, this one was pretty long here. That was the last bull market top. And then it came down here, the next candle open. I drew this line to show you how high the bear market candle, the next candle, still went up a little bit. It still went up a little bit after it started. So it started here, boom, and you can see the little wick went up a little bit. This one started here and then went up a little bit. So it is possible for the next candle after the bull market top candle to go up, but it generally so far has never went up higher than the bull market top candle. So even when this next candle starts, it could technically go up a little bit. It's so far, it has a lot of times, but whatever this candle was is usually the top so far. Now, is it possible that changes? It is possible. It just hasn't happened yet. So I can only go by history, and history so far in the 4 bull market cycles that Bitcoin existed, the 4th candle is always the top. The 4th year candle, top. 4th year candle, top. Whatever this one is going to be. We don't know yet because there's 3 months and 15 days left. The top could already be in. Someone asked me, do you think the top is in? It hit 124.5. It's possible it never goes higher than that, but it's not necessarily probable. We could have another run up to the top of the 1.6 on the Fibonacci, which Bitcoin has always hit, which would bring us to about 176. That would be up here somewhere, right about. Oh, it's actually right where I have that blue line.
What about hitting the middle line up the channel? Could it do that?
Yeah, and that would technically be right where I have that blue line, which is it's not letting me keep it there, but which could be, which is basically I'm sorry, not that blue line, this blue line right here. This blue line. That's the 178 or 177 price range. And that is where I could see it possibly going in this bull market. And there's a reason for that as well. We'll just cover this real quick before we wrap it up. And that is, I've gone over this many times as well, but just to, and I think this is important for you guys to see. I mean, I know that because really you're here to make money. And yes, we can take trades and teach you how to just get in and out. But I mean, we are very close to this time horizon, this time frame happening. And this is your, you know, if you're patient and you can sit on your hands a little bit and wait for these big things to happen, you could possibly make more money in this time than you could any other time, which I think is, it's like, what's faster, the rabbit, I'm sorry, the turtle or the hare, the rabbit or the tortoise. So this blue line right here is the 1.6 on the Fibonacci. This one is the 2.3. Every bull market, we hit the 2.3. 2.3. This is the bull market top back in 2013, bear market bottom, bull market top in 2017, bear market bottom, bull market top in 2021. But what happened in 2021? We did not hit the 2.3. This is the only time in Bitcoin history that we did not hit the 2.3. The other two bull markets before that, we hit it. And we hit all the other levels on the way up. So we got phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, phase 4, phase 5. Phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, phase 4, phase 5. In the last bull market in 2021, we hit the top of phase 4, which is the 1.6. We always hit that in every other bull market too. 1.6, boom. Then we hit the 2.3. But this one, we hit the 1.6 and we came down and we double topped at 1.6. We could not get above that. But there are some reasons that we're thinking COVID and plus the FTX collapse that caused Bitcoin to get scared. I mean, crypto traders to get scared. A lot of bad things were happening during this time. And we just couldn't get past it, but we did hit the 1.6. And then we come into the bear market. Now we got phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, and we are currently in phase 4. We are currently in phase 4 and we're up here even higher. If we get to the top of phase 4, which we have done every other time, that would bring us to the 1.6 and $178,000 for Bitcoin. If we break through that and get to the top of phase 5, that would bring us up to the 2.36, which is $555,000 for Bitcoin. All of these things are possible, but this is what we're hoping to happen at least, which is one more push to the upside before the next 3 months and 15 days are up. And that would bring us up to the 1.6. And so that would be a good time to consider shorting. If we can hit 1.6, if we can hit this, yeah, and then we break to the downside and it's the end of the year and the 12-month candle's over, then I would be like, damn, this is all too many different things showing me that we're done with this bull market. I'm shorting. Yeah, go ahead.
Is that a good is there a good scenario for that run up to 175 from here or not? Is it
only what I showed you? Yeah, I mean, there is a little bit. So let's go back. Let's go and look at.
I mean, that's a good run.
That would be, yeah, that would be one more parabolic move to the upside. We got enough time to do it, and here's what would have to happen. So on the weekly time frame, we would have to break this bearish divergence. In other words, we would have to get above this yellow line, which we did not do last time, and we have not done yet this time. But we could. So if we did, this is what it would look like. We break out, and we would have to get higher than the 77, this one, and hold that as support. If that happens, already, while this is happening, the price is already shot up parabolic. We would be up somewhere up here in this 130, 140, 150, 160 range. Another thing is that we have to stay above the upward trending support, which we are currently way above it. This is it right here, going this red line. I'm going to change it to blue just so you can see which one I'm talking about. This upward trending support line. That's the bear market bottom down here. These are all the supporting touch points that we hit it on the way up. Boom. And we could come over and hit it again and bounce, but right now we're way far away from it. So we could have another parabolic move to the upside. I wouldn't be worried about a bear market until we break this upward trending support. But if we drop from here and we go down to 105 and then we come over sideways and we come up to maybe 110 or 112 again and hit his resistance, and then we come down and we break this upward trend line somehow, some way over the next, 3 months to the downside and retest as resistance, then I would say that the 124 was the top and this is bear market territory. But if we stay above that and we continue to climb back up, right now we're at 116. If we continue, and we are on our way up, if we get up here to that 124 and we break above it and hold a support, there's a good chance for a parabolic move to the upside. So I'm hopeful that that still will happen and can happen. Here's another thing that I did talk about before, and I'll show you guys again. Let's go back to, real quick before we wrap this up, let's go back to trading view. Let's go to the weekly time frame. We are in an overall upward trending channel in Bitcoin. And if I put the stochastic RSI back on, this is promising. We do have a blue line crossing over the orange line to the upside and getting above the dotted line here at the 20. And on the weekly, this is important. It's on the weekly. This only happens twice a year. And every single time in Bitcoin's history, when this has happened, all you got to do is look at the price above when this happens. I'll just go back to 2022. When the blue line crosses the orange line to the upside, boom, we pump. When the blue line crosses the orange line to the upside, boom, we pump. When the blue line crosses the orange line to the upside, let's look at the dotted line going straight down. Boom, we pump. Right here, boom, we pump. Right here, boom, we pump. And here we are again. Right now, it's happening right now. So why wouldn't we? I mean, every time, not sometimes, but every time, going all the way back, wherever you see this blue line, look at this one here. Blue line cross the orange line to the upside. And getting across and getting above this dotted line. That's the important part. Look at this. I mean, that was a huge bull run up. So it could, yeah, we can still do it for sure. And we are doing it right now. That is happening right now. The blue line is crossing the orange line to upside and getting above the dotted line on the RSI. And we are starting to see some green, and we are bouncing on top of the EMA ribbon on the weekly. We got below it. We got back above it. We're bouncing on top of it. This could be the parabolic. This could be the time to shine, guys, up to that level. And if we break this upward trending support line, then that's a problem. So if we stay above it and we shoot up and then we go sideways and we shoot up, hit that 180, and then we come over here and break below this, yeah, that bull market's over. That's the top. We're shorting. That's what I'll be saying. All right, guys. The basics call is starting right now, I believe. Bill has already put the links in the Zoom chat and in the Discord group.
Hey, Nico, adjust your camera. It's tilted.
Oh, I thought I turned it off.
Oh.
You can see me still. Let me just go out. No, oh, I don't know how you guys can see my. Oh, I see what you say. Yeah, when I turned when I went off share mode, my camera was like following me around. It's kind of strange. I don't know what happened there.
Yeah, Ether just hit that stop loss too. It's going crazy.
Oh yeah, something just happened. Let me go back. It's 2 o'clock, so this is the time, right? This is the announcement time. Let me go back. Let's go to the lower time frame, see what's going on. I heard my stop loss get hit on something. That wasn't Bitcoin, that was Ethereum. But yeah, so remember what I was telling you guys. Let me just show you this real quick. I want you to get on the basics call with Bill, but let me just show you this real quick. Also, I want to announce something, but look at this. This big whipsaw action I was just telling you about. We are in the upward trend. That's great for Bitcoin. We did come down to the bottom. We bounced. bounce. We whipped through it, and we're coming back down to retest. Is it going to be good news? I don't know. I'm not watching, but this is the whipsaw action I was telling you about. It did not hit my stop loss yet. My stop loss is down here in profit on Bitcoin. I did get taken out on my Ethereum. Let's just look at it real quick. Oh, also, I wanted to say, guys, tomorrow night I am going. Look at that. Look at that. That's what happened on Ethereum. I told you about that whipsaw. Remember, we were in this little apex, winding in, and it boom, boom. And then what does it normally do? It usually comes right back into the same little upward trend that it was in. That's usually what happens. That's why I was saying it's better to not be in a trade than because it'll just whip and take you out. And if your liquidation is too close, it would have taken you out. So that's exactly what happens when these announcements come with a lot of whipsaw action. But usually it settles down. When the dust settles, it settles right back to where it was. So just don't overreact there. I do want to announce, guys, that tomorrow night I will be hosting a live webinar, but this is unlike normal webinars that I normally do. Chad is on vacation. He's on his honeymoon, I believe, in Greece. It'll just be me. It's going to be more a fireside chat Q&A. I'm gonna invite some of you guys on, members who are doing well in the group who have seen success. I'm going to have some interviews. It's going to just be a little different. So if you're on this call and you're hearing me speak right now and you'd like to be called, just send me a DM and you're going to have to show up obviously on that.
Can you put that in the calendar in school?
Not in school, but I will put it in the Discord in my Signal channel.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah, it's tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern, and I will be calling on a few of you to jump out, and it's going to be this kind of style where we can see everyone's faces on the Zoom calls, and then for those of you who are open and willing to jump out and give a little testimony or your experience, just send me a DM, let me know, and it's basically just to introduce mastermind members to people that have been in our free group for a long time and are on the fence, and they just want to see that there's real people in here.
Can the newbies jump on just to listen?
Yeah. I mean, this is for brand new people who are not even mastermind members. The call is, so I'm asking you guys, you guys are mastermind members, but you're welcome. Oh yeah, you're welcome to get on there whether you're new or not. Absolutely. I'll put the link in the Discord. I mean, in the Discord, but it's also in the free Facebook group. Guys,
Yep.
if you go into the free Facebook group, I already posted a video and they're inviting people, and so you should see it in there. In fact, let me just show you how that works also.
Yeah, I get in all the time because Nico gets busy. He might get in a great trade, but it might take him 15, 20 minutes to post it on the Signal. So you might as well be there to get it.
That's right. So if you go into the free Facebook group too, guys, I posted this video here. All you got to do is comment the link below. But you guys are already in the mastermind. So you don't necessarily want to click on the same link we're sharing to these people because this registers them for the webinar. It's a webinar registration link. Let me just see. Not that many people share it. Let's see. I know it's been posted in here a few times. There she is posting it. This is my assistant. So that is the webinar training. So you don't really want to register for the webinar because then you'll be getting updates and notifications for the next webinar. You guys are already in the mastermind. So what I'll do is I'll share just a direct Zoom link so that you guys can just jump on the Zoom, and I'll put it in the Discord. I'm sorry. Yeah. In Discord in the Signals channel. All right. So, but I appreciate you. Any of you that want to jump out and and get on there live with me, I would be grateful for that. And it'll be a good class for everybody. And yeah, guys, get on the basics. Yeah, go ahead.
I have one question. Just you were talking about XRP and buying a lot of XRP, and I was reading the other day, and everywhere said that they don't think it's going up, but maybe to $10 by 2035 even. And I'm like, that don't sound right. So I was going to ask you, I forgot why you said XRP would be a good buy for crypto.
Yeah, I don't know who you're talking about when you say everybody. I only see a very small amount of people saying that, and those people are usually clueless. So I don't know.
Well,
I don't know.
I just Googled XRP and where it may go.
And you saw some posts.
Right.
on Google?
I saw like 4 or 5 saying maybe $10 to $15, and I'm thinking, but this is supposed to be, if I remember correctly, what you said, the engine that banks are going to use
Yeah.
to
In order for it to
buy
go
and
to
sell crypto.
yeah. So in order for XRP to go to hundreds or even thousands of dollars, 4 digits, even 5 digits, $10,000, $25,000 per XRP, a lot of things have to happen. The planets have to align. And so it is true that there are some things that would have to happen in order for that to happen. But the thing is that all of those things are in the works of happening. All those things are in the process of being put in place. So it's not a question of like some crazy odds of this happening are slim. No, it's happening. So if I were to tell you back when Bitcoin was $13 that you should buy as much of it as possible because it's going to go to 100 grand, very few people back then when it was $13 thought it was going to go to 100 grand. In fact, hardly anybody. But everybody who bought 1,000 Bitcoins at $13 for $13,000, imagine if you bought 1,000 Bitcoins at $13 and you put 13 grand into it. You know how many people actually did that? So right now you would have you would be a billionaire. Right? You would have, well, no, I'm sorry, not a billionaire. You'd have $100 and some odd million, $110 million right now. So if you bought 1,000 Bitcoins at $13, so you would have $120 million approximately. So now if you would have bought, 10,000, that's different. Then you'd be, at $100,000, you'd have been a billionaire. But you can do that with XRP. You can still do that. So XRP at $3 is like Bitcoin at $13, in my opinion. And the reason why is because it's not the market cap that's important. It's the use case. So if they're, all they have to do is get to 14% of the entire Swift transactional network usage in order for XRP to be $1,000. 14%. That would be like saying all Bitcoin would have to do is get the same market cap as gold. And what is gold's market cap right now, guys? It's like 20 trillion. What is Bitcoin's market cap? 2 trillion, 2.5 trillion. So when Bitcoin hits gold's market cap, it's not a question of if, it's a question of when. Because that's not difficult to do, actually. All that would have to happen is for about 5 or 10% more of the entire investing world to have some Bitcoin. So, and right now, the amount of people that are opening crypto wallets and buying some Bitcoin or all these other cryptos is going up at a much higher rate than 5 or 10% every year. So it's just a matter of time, not when, not if. So when Bitcoin gets its market cap to equal to gold's market cap, you're looking at a 1.5 to maybe $5 million Bitcoin. And all that would have to happen is 10% more of the entire investing world to own Bitcoin. Imagine, do you guys remember back in 2009 when Facebook started? Anybody had a Facebook account back then when it first started? Mark Zuckerberg started Facebook in high school or in college, and he was just trying to get the college campus to all get on this thing. He wasn't thinking about a whole state or a whole country or a whole world. Do you think he thought back then that half of the entire population on the planet would have a Facebook page? Billions of people? No.
I did listen, and I bought plenty XRP, so I did listen.
Well, good. And I'm not saying I 100% know exactly what's going to happen in the future. If I did have a crystal ball and I knew that, I'd probably be a lot richer now than I currently am. And I might not be here to talk to you guys because I'd be busy doing fun things. Although this is fun to me, I probably still would be here, but you know what I mean. But the point is that I don't know of anything else that the average person could invest in that has the most upside potential as XRP. Not even Bitcoin. Bitcoin 10x's from here, then you got $1 million Bitcoin. if Bitcoin 10x's from here, XRP could 100x or 1000x. So as far as your ROI is concerned, I think that you have a higher gain percentage financially with XRP. Now, don't get me wrong, you do want as much Bitcoin as possible because Bitcoin does 10x from here. That will be your store of wealth you can borrow against. That's like buying an apartment building or a townhouse or a duplex for $100,000 and it going up to $1 million. You don't want to sell it at that point. You just want to borrow against it. You want to take the equity out and let the tenants pay it off over time. You don't ever want to kill the goose laying the golden egg. And this is, I think, the problem that most people have is they're looking at crypto to get rich so that they could sell it at the top and then take their money. You guys are thinking about money. You're thinking about cash. You're thinking about US dollar bills. When you should not be thinking about that. You should be thinking about the asset behind the thing that's valuable. So, because if Bitcoin goes to $1 million, that means one Bitcoin equals $1 million. It's going to take you $1 million to buy one of these things. And if you have one of these things, so I think your goal should be to try to accumulate at least one Bitcoin. Some of you have more than that, I already know, because we've had private calls together. But if you could just get one Bitcoin, and that's just buying a little bit all the time, a little bit weekly, in and out, trading, learning how to trade, learning how to accumulate more. And that Bitcoin goes to 10 or $12 million by the year 2030 or 2035, then you have a $10 million asset that you own and control. If you sold it for $10 million, you would now have $10 million, but you would no longer have that valuable asset. And now immediately your purchasing power of the dollars, the $10 million goes down at a rate of 10% per year, whereas the Bitcoin was going up on average of 50 to 100% per year. So if you would have just kept the Bitcoin, you might, yeah, but I need the money. How can I spend the money? You borrow against it. So you borrow, let's say you borrow $5 million or $2 million against your $10 million of the Bitcoin. You then fund your lifestyle with that $2 million. You do what you want. You take the trips, you have fun, you pay off your bills, you buy your house, you buy the boat, you decorate your garage, you buy your wife a ring, you buy your husband a ring, whatever you want. And you don't pay tax on that because it's loan proceeds. And how do you pay that loan off? The value of the asset being held as collateral continues to go up between 40 and 100% per year. That's the Bitcoin. So another 5 years from now, Bitcoin is now worth 15 million. You could certainly pay off that 500 or that $2 million with the increased value of the Bitcoin. You can also, instead of doing that, however, you can just borrow more against it. Also invest in other things like real estate or other asset classes. So, or start businesses. There's a lot of things you can do with that money, but you're holding on to the goose that's laying the golden eggs, which is the Bitcoin. The banks will always want to loan you against that asset. But as soon as you sell it, guys, you're now on a downward spiral to broke again. A lot of people don't think that, but that's the way it is. You now have a lot of cash, but what do you do with cash? Cash is not going up in value. It's going down in value. It's going down in purchasing power at a rate of 8 to 10% per year. So if you just sit on $1 million in the bank, in 10 years, the purchasing power will be worth 200,000. But if you have $1 million of the Bitcoin in 10 years, it's going to be worth 10 million. The purchasing power will be 10 million.
I have a question. I see all these crypto credit cards, letting you buy, and when you get like 3% XRP or Bitcoin, would it be profitable to go with the XRP one? So that when you buy, you're getting XRP because it's a low price. And
absolutely, you're getting rewarded, and instead of getting rewards on your credit card like you normally do on an Amex or your Chase Bank card, where it just gives you like one what is it, like $9 for every $1,000 or something that you spend, which does add up. But then you spend it. You can either take it as a cash deposit into your checking account, or you can apply it towards paying off your balance on your credit card, or you can get a reward like a discount on your next trip, or a coffee at whatever, Starbucks, whatever you're using that reward for. But if you're getting paid, if you're getting your rewards in XRP and you just let that accumulate, heck yeah. Guys, 1,000 XRP right now is $3,000. If you can buy 1,000 XRP, which I think most of you probably can, that could make you a millionaire. Just that 1,000 XRP. If XRP goes to $1,000, that's $1 million. And that's not fair. I know it seems far off because it's $3, but $100,000 Bitcoin was far off when Bitcoin was $13 too. I mean,
yeah, I gave you guys 500 of my XRP to get in your group.
I bet I still have it too. But hey, you're also getting an education. Now you got to accumulate that XRP back. So, I mean, the good news for you is that it probably went down in value a little bit since then too, or fluctuated somewhere between, because it was at 380. It went up to like 360 or something like that and came back down.
I got mine at 2.3. Well, I originally got it at 207 and then at 250. So it balanced out at right now it's like at 2.3. So it's $2.30.
Guys,
So
right
I'm
now,
in the plus all the way now. So I'm like in the like $800 plus right now.
yeah. I think sub $3, guys, anywhere around where it's at right now is a crazy price. I think anywhere right now is a crazy price. I got taken out of my Bitcoin trade too. It spiked down a little bit on the announcement. I don't know what the Feds are talking about right now, but I have a feeling it'll just come right back to where it was. We might see anybody watch the Fed
I'm
announcement.
going to head over to the other group. Have a good one, you guys.
Yeah, definitely get on the basis call, guys, especially if you're new. That already started. But I'm going to wrap this up now, guys. But I will post in the Signals channel any new trades I get into based on the Fed announcement. I don't think that causes a direction to go just extreme in one direction or the other. There is usually a big whipsaw action, and then it kind of falls back into place. But we will see. I mean, it is still in the downward trending channel right now. And so let me just go look at Bitcoin real quick. But yeah, it's still nothing crazy has changed, just a little whipsaw action. But I will post in the Signal channel if I re-enter. Also, guys, if you can tune in tomorrow, just let me know. Send me a DM. Let me know if you want to be called out to just give a quick little testimony. And it's not even it's just your experience on so far being in the Crypto Renegades. I'll see you guys on that call tomorrow. And I because Chad's out, my personal next call will be tomorrow night. So all of you are welcome to join. But it's more of a fireside chat with people that are not in the mastermind yet. But you guys are welcome to get on there. Have a great rest of your day. Get on the basis call with Bill right now if you guys have time, because you're going to learn a lot just being on that call as well. All right, guys. Have a great rest of your day. I'll see you later.